Hello, Internet! Shalth is here, and it's time for another episode of ShoutStone. Today I'm bringing you another Shoutcast from the Hearthstone beta, actually a two-fer today, featuring a couple of well-known Hearthstone players, or at least just a couple of well-known personalities. The first, of course, being Trump, who has been starring in our latest series of the Arena Time, and who will probably be the star of Arena Time going forward, because his games are actually interesting and fun to watch instead of me just being horrible. But this is actually coming from one of his arena runs, not one that I think we actually have coming up, but an arena run that he did where he ended up playing against Totalbiscuit a couple times. And he uploaded these games, and I wanted to cast them for you so you could check these out if you haven't seen them already. So, without further ado, let's get into the action right now. Of course, it is gul'dan versus gul'dan. Mirror match Trump versus Totalbiscuit in this one-on-one match in the arena. Now, I know that the graphic does say Arena Time. This is not Arena Time. This is just regular old ShoutStone. But that will be the new graphic that will probably accompany a lot of the future arena casts that we do, just so that you don't have the chat logs and other distractions up there. But of course, you know, you can find Trump's stream. It's at twitch.tv/TrumpSC. And oh man, a nasty opening play there by Trump. Turn 1 Flame Imp, followed by a follow-up Murloc there by playing the coin. So we're looking at a 3-2 and a 1-2 on the first turn that Totalbiscuit is going to have to try to respond to here. And it's not going to be easy. I don't know really what options he's going to have. Alright, looks like he's going to use Corruption to at least take out the Murloc. Interesting choice that they take the Murloc out. I guess he thinks that maybe Trump is sitting on a Murloc-heavy deck, and he is kind of right. But it looks like turn 2 is going to be that Bluegill Warrior, and it does have charge, so damage incoming. Already 7 damage done. And of course the lone Murloc does fall, but we are looking at a turn 3 raid leader for Trump, which is going to make things even more fun very soon. Mana Addict hits the field. Not much else that Totalbiscuit can do, so the turn is passed, and here comes a raid leader. He'll buff up the Flame Imp, who's going to be taking out that Mana Addict, and a quick strike onto TB to knock him down to 20 HP. So this is a really, really fortunate hand for Trump, and a really difficult position for Totalbiscuit to be in. I doubt he has much to respond to here, so he's going to drop the Dragonling Mechanic. I hope that's the right name. But he's going to drop that, spawn a couple of ads. He does have that Direwolf Alpha. I'm pretty sure he's going to want to drop that. Just going to take his chances on a life tap, see what he can pull up. Now it's a matter of which ads or which minions do you want to buff with it. And I think probably going to do it. Yeah, he's going to buff the 2 strongest ones and deal some serious damage. Knock TB down to 9 HP as we enter the next turn. I think, unless he has something really solid in his hand, there may not be much option for TB here, and he is going to concede. Game 1 goes down, and that was it. So, pretty convincing fashion, Trump takes care of Totalbiscuit. Now, that was the first matchup that they had here, but it would be right after, in the next time that Trump would queue up for Arena, the immediate game after, that he and TB would meet again, which I think is pretty funny. But in that game, I mean, a lot of that just came down to the luck of the hand. You know, that initial hand being such a strong play to start, and it was just really fortunate for Trump. But I think we should get into the next matchup here any second now. Just want to get this all queued up, of course. But yeah, I when I saw that there was this potential double game between Trump and Totalbiscuit, and that first one ended so quickly, I got pretty excited, because Totalbiscuit can be hit or miss in the arena. He certainly, I don't think he's at the level of Trump, but he, you know, he's certainly not terrible. But anyway, let's get right into game 2 here, because I don't want to wait any longer than I absolutely have to for Game 2 to begin. And of course, it is going to be gul'dan versus gul'dan yet again. And here we are. Squaring off, he's going to dump that Gadget Sand Auctioneer and the Iron Forge Rifleman. So it doesn't look, it doesn't look like he has quite the powerful opening hand that he did on the previous game. And he is going second, so that's going to put him in a fairly good position. Going second is still a pretty strong position to go in, but it is surprisingly even. You know, it's fairly even starting first or second in a lot of these matchups. It doesn't feel that way. Like, it feels like going second is such a more powerful position to be in. But that's not necessarily the case all the time. So, quick Murloc play by Totalbiscuit to get things rolling here. Now it just really comes up to what Trump wants to do. He is going to play the coin. He's going to drop that Grimscale Oracle and the Murloc Raider. Now, the thing with that Grimscale Oracle, as you just saw, it does affect all other Murlocs. So, the fact that TB had a Murloc in play does buff it. So, it's a very interesting position to be in. TB does hit a life tap to try and get some extra options here, now that it is his turn again. Now, it's a little interesting position he's in. Like, does he want to take out that Oracle? And yeah, he's going to take it out. I guess he may not have an actual Murloc deck. This is Arena, and he feels that maybe Trump does, so he doesn't want to risk, you know, dealing with a Murloc heavy deck when he doesn't have that. And maybe that was just one minion that he happened to have in that deck that came up during a draw point. But Flame Imp comes back into play for Trump. That's going to deal a quick couple points of damage to Trump. That's one of the costs of that minion, but it is a very strong one-drop. But it is dispatched right away thanks to Drain Life, and the turn's passed yet again. So now options are looking... I mean, this game is certainly going to last longer. I think that goes without saying. I mean, I know that the game goes longer. I have no idea what happens in this game or exactly who wins or loses. I just know that the game goes longer. So we're going to find out. But a little bit of a rematch here. Finally going to get a competitive game between these two, it looks like. So the Mogushan Warden comes into play. A great damage absorption minion. Just a great thing to keep out there and you know, keep the damage off of your hero or off of any other important minions that you might have. Of course, since that's a neutral minion, it does work well with other class cards. So say you want to put it in a priest deck and give it like Inner Fire, then it becomes a 7/7 minion that can be pretty potent. And you can combine it with things like Power Word Shield and things like that. So that makes a really good minion for a priest deck, I'd say. But it will be taken out pretty rapidly, thanks to the buffs to the Murloc Warrior and the damage dealt by that Panther. Excuse me. Alright, the Shattered Sun Cleric does come into play for Trump there before the turn has passed. So he's got some formidable minions on his side of the field. That is for sure. And he's going to play Shadow Bolt to take the Panther out of play. Play a Stone Tusk Boar, which is actually... a Stone Tusk Boar is a pretty nice minion. It's a 1/1 1-drop, but it has charge, which means you're basically getting at least a guaranteed point of damage, which you can't always say for all 1/1 minions. So it makes a really versatile item in just about any deck. So Trump plays that Questing Adventurer, and that can be a very, very potent card if it's out there for too long and not dealt with. And right now Trump doesn't have anything that he can use to get the attention off of it. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of what TB wants to do here. I mean, I would certainly probably focus down that Questing Adventurer if possible. He's going to put that Demolisher into play, which could hopefully deal that 2 random damage to the Questing Adventurer. But we'll have to see, because right now looks like Trump's trying to play out his move here. He could take out that Raid Leader with the Shattered Sun Cleric and at least keep it alive. He's going to play... oh, he's going to silence it. Very nice move there. So he gets rid of the effect of the Demolisher, takes the Raid Leader out of play, and attacks in with his questing adventurer, which is now up to 3/3. So that was a very smart move there. So he used that Spellbreaker to take out the Demolisher, which silenced it, so now the effect of the Demolisher is rendered completely worthless, and now it's just a 1/4 minion that's eating up space. Does drop that Corruption on the questing adventurer, so it's going to last only one more turn. So I don't think it's going to do much more than another 3 or 4 points of damage, but hey, you know, nothing wrong with that. Of course, it all depends on what the draw looks like here. And TV's only down to 3 cards, so he is on the back foot in this matchup right now. He's got the card disadvantage, health disadvantage, and the minion disadvantage. He's going to drop that Dragon League mechanic. And life tap, try to get another option. But he will at least be able to take out the Shattered Sun Cleric with that Demolisher. Get some use out of it, thankfully. So the questing adventurer will die on this next turn. So it doesn't really matter. So basically, Trump just has to choose the best option for that damage to go, really, right now. Like, where's the best use of that damage? There's not a lot of formidable minions on the other side of the field. It's really a lot of smaller ones, but it can become a problem if it, you know, continues to go. So I think Trump's just considering right now if he wants to play additional minions to buff up that questing adventurer for its last attack. But I don't really know. Yeah, he's gonna. He looks like he's gonna try and play Mana Addict, which will get it up to a 4/4, and he's gonna attack the hero with it, and attacking with that Spellbreaker. And he's going to Shadow Flame. Very nice move. He Shadow Flames the questing adventurer to let it deal 5 damage to the opposing field. So that's a very clever move there. Very smart play there. Now Shadow Flame, what it does is it destroys your target minion, but it deals its attack power, or attack, in damage to all other minions. Or all other enemy minions, I should say. Alright, Sense Demons. He's going to put a Flame Imp into play. A very risky move this late in the game, especially when he was down to 10 HP. So I don't know if this is the position that TB wants to be in here. Here comes a Soul Fire. That's going to knock him down to 4, and the attack, and that will wrap things up. So GG, Trump, in triumphant fashion, takes out Totalbiscuit a second time, which means that they are not going to face off in the next match in Trump's arena run that we saw there. But that's going to do it. So there you have it. I wanted to just do this special double cast for this Sunday's episode here. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be going back to the arena. Hopefully we only got 3 more games left of that arena run, and Trump will be able to clear it all the way to 9, but we will find out. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter. I know that YouTube has been kind of funny with their updates, so if you don't see the latest episode of ShoutStone in your subscription list, if you happen to subscribe, and you certainly should, find us and actually go to our page directly, go to the channel page directly and see if it's been uploaded, because sometimes YouTube is being really bad about that. But we do generally upload by noon Eastern each day. So, there you have it. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.